deviation. However, there are forms and rituals which are not essential to salvation. And I believe there is a great deal of elasticity in these areas. This was Paul's feeling. Certainly, circumcision had no bearing on Timothy's salvation, but the rite was performed so that the ministry of Timothy with the Jews would not be handicapped. You know, as I go around with Celebrate Recovery, we're in about every different kind of church. I was talking to a guy tonight at Cracker Barrel. His father was father-in-law was pastor at Church of Christ. He was a Pentecostal preacher, and he at one time attended Glory Land, which is a Baptist church, and he said he kind of fits in with them all. And you know, really, I one of the churches, one of the guy members who was baptized there, I was is a Christian church, and I asked Mike about that one time, and he said, "Well, we're not that dogmatic like down the road about this being something you have to be baptized to be saved." And so they just baptize them on the day you go forward, and that's perfectly fine. But one of the things is by if they will allow you, they give you the opportunity to speak. And I've given my testimony at that Celebrate Recovery. I've in many of these, some of the Pentecostal churches, I've taught the lesson at their Celebrate Recovery. As long that's one of the things that it seems to be. I was rather dogmatic about it whenever I was a kid. I wouldn't. I didn't. I went to Ichthus, of course. I was a member of a church, had a closed communion, so I didn't want to break their rules, and I didn't take communion with the other 15,000 people. But I've learned since then, being dogmatic can get you into trouble. And so I have friends that can't find a church that believes the way they believe, and so they choose to sit at home and not go to church. And I think that is worse off than to go to somewhere where there might be something you might not agree with. In this day and time, I'm sure you're not going to agree with every church that you might find, because there's so many traditions and heresies and different things, a little different take on things. But as I said, as long as you can agree on what I last chapter I called the uh, the the Apostles' Creed, which is basically the gospel, the death, burial, and resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ. As long as you can agree on that and how the mode of salvation, then why would you sweat these little details and wind up not going to a church that you need to be in church somewhere with? And so I might not agree at most churches that I've been in. I thought that at one time I was going to a non-denominational church and wound up being Southern Baptist. I mean, Eagle Heights, they're no longer in existence, but I thought they were non-denominational when I started going to them. And then they wound up being a Baptist. The Creek is the same way. They just dropped off the Hawk Creek Baptist Church. They just dropped off the Baptist church part. And so many times anymore, you don't know that you're going to a Baptist church, and they're a Baptist church. I mean, but if you can, if you can, if they'll allow you to teach and allow you to speak and allow you to, if you're growing there, then it's better than not going anywhere. That's one of the problems I have with people who don't go anywhere, is just the first church you go by, stop,